We're studying IGCSE English and we're starting email writing here. Lola, recap.
For the last class, we did an email writing, and the agenda was the format of an email, content, style, time, and past papers. We did about the plain and the informal letters, the format, and the paragraph, introduction, body, conclusion, and informal signs of a no formal greeting. And we did also other things with that, and you gave us a homework.
Homework, right, I remember. Good. Now, who has done the homework? I think Diana, Lula, Mawadda, were you there in English?
No,
She
sir.
was in the last class of
Alright.
English.
So Safa is here. All right. Who was there in the class? Tell me.
There was one.
Or just tell me
I don't know.
who has done
There was
the homework. Who has done the homework?
I did.
You did? Have you submitted it?
I submitted it in the GCR.
All right. Anyone else? Have you finished your homework?
Sir, are you asking me?
Yes, Safa. Zahra, Diana.
Yes, sir, I've done mine.
You've done yours. Safa and Zahra.
No, sir.
Zahra.
No, sir, I haven't.
Now, can I have some reasons from you? What are the reasons for neglecting your homework? Quick.
Sir, I want to do an email with you, and then I'll just do the homework which you gave.
Now, all of these excuses or any reasons, I need them before you submit your homework, before the deadline, right? You have to say this in WhatsApp, and on the GCR, perhaps that's it. I have a doubt. You have to mention the word doubt over there, and if you say that, that's enough. I know that okay, you have a problem. We'll do it together. But if you don't mention it, then that means that you have not submitted your work, and I don't know what you guys are busy with. So either tell me you're busy, if you tell me you don't understand, or do the work. Because there's no other way you're getting any good grades in this class. And wallahi, there's no way of improving if you don't do the work. Because you're wasting your own time. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear? All right. Now, agenda. Because don't waste your time, don't waste your parents' money, don't waste my time. Especially, be sincere about your studies. Now, let's recap what we did in the last class. We looked at an email from museum. Museum opening. We look at that question right now. Just a second. Okay. Now, Najla and Mawadda, are you taking English? Yes, you are. And how are you grades in English so far? How are your grades? In school?
It's not that bad. It's good.
One more time.
My grades are good, actually.
All right,
Yeah, me
then
too.
fine. Let's see. Fine. Now we'll see that. All right, in a few days.
For the
I'm
last
just
time, you
opening the
told us to do a correction, which was to add some of the vocabulary words you gave us and the phrasal words and some idioms.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to open that right now. Just a second. Now, can you see the white? Can you see the class GCR on the screen?
We can see only the whiteboard.
The whiteboard. Now this is the assignment. You have this 30 minutes. Take out 30 minutes and finish it. In the exam, you have 20 minutes to write it, 10 minutes for correction. Now the last class is email writing. This one. And if I zoom in, just a second. Now to access the class recordings and stuff, all you have to go is go to the GCR and check CW. Everything with CW should have a recording with it. If it doesn't, ask me to upload it. Now, this is what you were supposed to add.
Yes.
Mawada, can you see this? Mawada, start reading from here.
Idioms: under the weather, having a bad mood, or being sick. Cost an arm and a leg, very expensive. Jump on the bandwagon to follow a trend blindly. Miss the mark, to fail. Being on the cloud nine, to be extremely happy.
Being on cloud nine or reaching cloud nine or something related to cloud nine is always being happy. I can say I am on the cloud nine. I am on cloud nine because of my results or because of my team success. Now, vocabulary such as enormous, gigantic, mesmerizing, influential, vivid, marvelous, you have to use these. I've given you the words over here which will tell you what it means. And if you use these words, let's say whenever you're using big, you have to replace it with the other one. Now, since we have done this already, I'll just check your answer for this. Just a second. We're going to take the sample writing, let's say Lula's, and our job will be to improve the writing. All right. Just a second. Now back to the whiteboard. Can you see the whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
All right, just a second.
So for you not to be confused, it's like this last time I wrote, but it's an edited version.
Have you finished it?
Yeah, I have finished it completely, but I wrote the same thing with the same headings you gave us, but I edited it. Like all the wrongs I have removed.
That's fine. That's no worries. As long as you're doing something. Now look, all I want you to do is just do your work, put your hand down and do something. And that is how you make a habit.
Sir, I have sent mine in WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. All right, that would help me out. Just a second. All of you, just a second. You're trying to open it.
If it's not working, I can send it through WhatsApp.
Send it on WhatsApp. Yep, go on. Hurry up. Because I've been taking quite a lot of classes today, and everything is filled up, so it's very slow. Just give me 1 second. Meanwhile, let's do one thing. What I want you to do is Mawada, Najla, all of you who haven't finished written anything, I want you to go to the GCR and open the assignment and start writing. Is that clear? Zahara, Safa, Najla, Niranjana, start. Start writing, and I'll ask you to send me a picture.
Write what?
Check the GCR for the assignment on email writing 1.
And sir, Najla is not added to the group nor the GCR.
I think she is. Yeah, all right, I've gotten the answers. Let's start from here. Niranjana, read from the beginning.
Email, dear Farah, it was awesome to hear from you.
Just a second, stop. Before you read it, let's look at the question. All right, let's do something. Just give me 1 second. Because you guys were not there in the last class, there's no point in continuing the same question. Zahra was absent and you have not done the homework. So there's no point in discussing it. We're going to try a different question then. Mawada, read the question.
You were recently on a school trip when something unusual happened. Write an email to a friend about what happened. In your email, you should explain where you were going and why. Describe what happened. Say how you felt about what happened. The pictures above may give you some ideas, and you should try to use some ideas of your own. Your email should be between
No.
100 to 150 words long.
All right. Now, what are we looking at? We're looking at literary devices. How can we use these things, literary devices? These are called figures of speech, used to enhance effects of writing. We'll try using a few. We'll try using personification, simile metaphor, idiom, and let's just say onomatopoeia. These 4 today. Now we know that adjectives are already a big thing. Let's put that right here as well. Under style, we should have a lot of adjectives and types of sentences or varied sentence length and structure. Now this is exactly from your marks team. Not just the marks team, the examiner reports. Every year, examiners publish a report which you can read. If you have access to anyone who's at Cambridge, they can share it with you. And one of the most important things are punctuation, sentence structure, and adjectives. But we're going to go above and beyond. We'll also look at literary devices. Now the question, Zahra, can you tell me what is the purpose of the question?
The purpose of question, you mean to say that we have to tell the topic of the question, or
the topic of the question, or what are we writing the email on? Tell me. We have a few things. We have purpose, format, and audience. What is the meaning of this? Well, purpose is what the question is asking us. Well, these 3 things is the purpose, and basically the whole question. Now, your job is to clearly demonstrate the purpose in your answer, and clearly with equal weightage to all the topics, you have to give an appropriate answer. So what that means is, if how many words is a letter? The letter is going to be 200 words. Now this is an old paper. Actually, let's take 150 words. Now if it's 150 to 200, you're going to divide this into 3 bullet points. So we'll take 50 points for there, 50 words for that, 50 words for that, and 50 words for that. What some people do is that they take, let's say, 70 words for this, 30 words for this, and 50 words for this. Or let's say 80 words for this, 30 words for that, 40 words for this. This is not good writing. And that will lose marks on content. On which part? Diana? On the content. You should have a balanced words or balanced paragraphs for each of the bullet points. Now we know the format is informal letter. Email means informal letter. And the audience is your friend. Audience is the person who's going to read your letter. So that's your friend. Now, any questions, anyone? Any
No, sir.
questions?
No, sir.
Now, then I'll ask you a question then. Ready? We'll have like a quiz and you'll get points. The one who answers first gets 2 points. The one who answers afterwards gets 1. Now, the first point is, what is the format of an email?
There are both formal and informal. Formal if you're writing it to a professional person or to a company or something. Informal if you're writing it to a friend or a family member.
All right. Now, usually, mostly in your syllabus, you don't have formal letters. You only have informal. That's what's in your syllabus. Next thing is, audience is the person who's reading the letter. Fine. Purpose is given in the question. And I'll ask you one thing. Let's say, Zahara, how many words should I use for each paragraph? If the letter is for 150 words.
We have to use 50-50.
Make it a balance. All right. Equal lines for all of them. Now, we have done the format already. That must be 3 paragraphs only. How many paragraphs?
3 paragraphs.
So you'll have intro, you'll have body, and you'll have conclusion. It's not like review, which we have done already. Article has 5 paragraphs, review has 4 paragraphs. Report also has 3, but this is the simplest one. So there's not much happening in the paragraph. So there's a lot happening in your style and effect right here. This all of this. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to write. Just a second. I want you to write all of this in your notebook.
Sir, do we rewrite it since we have already written this?
Which one? No, this is different. This is a different question, right?
Yeah, but the formats and everything, the style and all, it was written last time.
No, we're not doing that. We're just writing this part.
Okay.
So we have format, intro, body, conclusion. Let's start with the intro. Introduction. Now, for the introduction, we always start with an informal greeting. Now, look, they've already done this. So I'm just recapping things right now. If you don't understand, ask me. Niranjana, tell me any 2 informal greetings. Or 1. Just tell me 1.
Informal greetings, it will be like, how are you?
How are you? Let's say,
Hello.
let's call this informal salutation /
Can we
greeting.
say like, how have you been?
So that's called the opening statement. That's called the opening statement. Now, informal greeting or salutation is always whenever you have, let's say, when you write a letter, you say, dear Alex, right? You say, respected sir. Now, these are called your greetings or salutations. What are they called? Let's just call them salutation. Forget the word greeting here. Now, Najla, what is the first thing we do in a letter? In email. First thing is, read this out loud.
Informal solution. Opening statement.
Opening statement is the second one.
Yeah.
So informal salutation. Salutation. And what types are they? What you can take is, you can take dear and then the name, let's say dear Alex. We can say, hey, Alex. In hey, Alex, you should put an exclamation mark. What else can you have? You can have
Hello.
hello. Hello, Alex. One of those are fine. What else can we take? We can say, dearest Alex. That's also works. Now, all of these, I would prefer that you use the last one. Which one?
Dearest.
Dearest.
Dearest, dearest Alex, or hey, Alex. These are the two ones I want you to use. So write these two in your notebook. First, write all of this. If you have finished, then start from here. Or yeah. So start from here actually. And tell me when you're done writing.
Okay.
I'll give you three possibilities here. So, dear Alex, hey Alex, and dearest Alex. Dearest is cool. The opening statement, what are these? Diana, tell me one opening statement.
Salutation.
No, opening statement is, Lula, can you tell me one? We can say, how have you been? How have you been and how are your parents? Now tell me, I have two options. You can write this. Opening statement is what you write when you begin your paragraph, your letter. It is what you write when you begin your letter. So firstly, I'll say, let's say, I'm going to start my letter right here. I'll say, hey, Alex, how have you been? And how are your parents? Now that's one option I have. But the thing is, please don't write that in the exam. This is the worst thing you can write. The best thing you can write is something like this. I hope your exams went well, and sorry for not replying sooner. We can say something like this. We can also say, it was awesome hearing from you. Something like this, all right? I hope your project, or let's say your trip, was amazing. Now, what this means is, how is it different? It is more interesting. Just asking how you are and your parents, that's very boring. But the other example which we have right here, that tells you that you guys are close together. Now, one of the things is we have to show the reader, or let's say show the reader that you are close to your friend, because you're talking to a friend, you're not talking to some random person. And you don't write letters to everyone, you write letters to only who are your friends. So if they are your friends, you should have, let's say, perhaps you have talked to them already, or perhaps they'll send you a letter first and now you're replying, something like that. Najla, or not Najla, I think Safa, read from here. Opening statement out loud.
Opening statement. I hope your exams went well and sorry for not replying sooner. It was awesome hearing from you. I hope your trip was amazing.
Now this is, you have to keep it short, all right? And let's just keep something right here. We'll put an exclamation mark here as well. Done. Now, who has written how much? Niranjana, are you writing?
Sir, I'm on opening statement.
All right. Mawada,
Same, sir.
Zara, Zahra?
Yes, sir.
Where are you writing? How much have you finished?
I'm here on here, Alexa. Alexa, it's
Now you don't have to write this, by the way. Okay. So cut this part. You just have to write this part.
okay.
Now this is our letter. What we're trying to write, email. Now I want all of you to work together to make an email. Now, but the thing is, we know how to start our letter. What do we do after this? Let's say I'll choose this one. I hope the exams went well. All you have to do is pick and choose and put things in there. It's like a cooking recipe. Take one thing, add it there, make sure that all the ingredients are there, you'll get a perfect dish. But for that, you need a recipe, you need a plan. Now that is why we have a format right here, which we have covered in the last class as well. But there's one more thing which we are missing right now, and that is called the plan. Niranjana, what do we include in a plan? Niranjana, louder. What
Yes,
do we
sir.
include in a plan?
We have to explain where we went and what was the reason for our visit.
All right. So we'll write. Or okay. Diana, can you tell me what do we include in our plan?
Like the stuff we want to do.
Exactly what we want to write. Now, what is going to be there in our letter? Now, we won't be thinking while we're writing. That's an awful thing actually to do. So what you have to do is you're going to write a plan for this. Now, our plan has started already. This is my plan. Okay. And this, let's say this is my intro. Intro is fine. You won't write too much. You'll just write small bullet points to make sure you know what you're going to write. Let's start with the intro. And in the intro, we have to mention the first bullet point right here, which is, Mawadda, read the first point.
Explain where you were going and why.
Now, the purpose is that we have to talk about these bullet points and something unusual happened. Something unusual happened. So let's write it down from here. I'll just say, now all of you start writing the plan actually from here. Right below this. Okay. Now in this plan, what we're going to start is we'll start with the intro. So in the intro, we need at least 3 points. What we're going to talk about. Every bullet point will have 3 points. So what is the first one? Something unusual happened. Or you have to say what happened and no, why, where you were going and why. So where you were going and why. Now quick, I need 1 point from each of you in the chat. What are you going to write in this letter? So where were you going and why were you going?
Sir, can I look at the question once again?
Yes. Question is the first one. So where you were going and why were you going there? Something unusual happened on the way. What happened? Basically, you're not saying what happened. You have to say which place were you going and why were you going there?
So, sir, what do we have to write you?
All right, I'll tell you then. So they're saying something unusual happened. Where were you going? Let's make up a story. You can make up anything you want. Let's say I was going to Himalayas on a trip. That's where I was going. Okay. Now your job is to tell me anything else about this relating to this one. So what I chose was that I was going to the Himalaya where the unusual thing happened. So something unusual happened, but where did it happen? So it happened at the Himalayas. Now they want one more. They want one more information or two more points. Can someone tell me, Mavata, any thoughts here? I can say where in Himalaya, why was I going to the Himalayas?
Maybe you were going with some friends to explore some stuff.
All right, so with friends to explore stuff. All right, that's the point. I'll improve all of these. First, I need one more point. Niranjana, give me 1 point.
To know more about the nature and the history of the place.
Okay, so you were going there to know about nature and history. Yes. Perfect. Now again, it's good to have points, but for all of these points, I need to think of an example. So I was going on Himalayas on a trip. I need more detail here. By what? Let's say I'll say by a car or by a bus. Now, which friends to explore stuff? What kind of stuff, Dula?
To explore the place, the mountains.
All right, mountains. Okay, what else? I can say mountains, rivers, and forests. Done?
Yeah.
So examples. Think of any random example. Doesn't make a difference. I need examples. Now know about the nature and history of place.
About the nature, we can write types of plants that are there.
All right. Now that's nature, types of plants, and history. Let's say cultures. That's it. Now don't give too much information. You don't have much time. So all of this should be very brief and very quick. This whole plan should be within 5 minutes. The examiners want to read your plan, by the way. The space you get over here, the blank space over here, is to write the plan. If you check the syllabus booklet, that's what's written there. Now I have my intro ready, right? Intro is ready. Now next thing is let's look at the body. What is the second point? Second point they're asking us is describe what happened. Now for this one, I need 3 points from Zahara, Safa.
Sorry.
Yes.
Do we get points for the plan if we write it?
Not for the plan, no.
Okay.
But it is important. Now, anyone else tell me what happened quick? I need Zahara, Mawadda, and Najla.
We can say that someone get injured or had something happen, like car accident, for
Alright.
example.
Car accident, perfect. But since we're on a bus, we'll have a bus accident. So try whenever you think of something like a car or like a car is normal. Always try to think of something unique, something different. So if you think of a car, replace it with a bus or helicopter, something like that. Now, so injury. Accident happened or injury. Safa, Zahra, Niranjana, I need 2 more points from here. Hurry up. Mavada, tell me what kind of accident?
There was a wild animal, for example.
Wild animal. So wild animal hits the bus. Fine, perfect. Zara, any other points on this? The question is, what happened? What unusual happened?
We got to see is Himalayas a top region part? Can we
Yes,
see
it's a
their
mountain.
lions?
It's like this, Himalayas.
Yeah, can we see their lions?
Can we see there? Say that again.
Lions or bears?
Yes, we can. We can.
Yeah, so we saw animals like bears.
Okay. Now
Is it
our job is
unusual?
to say, yeah,
Okay.
something unusual happened. But what kind of unusual happened? क्या अजीब चीज हुआ?
White
We could
bears.
say that a friend was stung by a snake.
All right, friend stung by a snake.
Or the car ran out of the gas.
All right, car ran out of gas. All right. The snakes are a bit not there in the Himalayas because they are
But
usually
if
in
we
places
go
with mist.
first, so like
Now,
Or
one thing
someone
is you have to
sprained
build
their
on.
ankle.
Now we have to build on this. We've done the action already. All right. So I need something which adds to this. So to add to this, we'll say car ran out of gas. Perfect. Now car ran out of gas, and let's say how did the people react? Tell me.
Panicked.
Panicked. So let's just say people panicked. Our job is to describe the environment, right? What was happening there? This happened. People panicked, and let's just say panicked and started screaming. Something like that. Done. The last one. Say how you felt about what happened. Say how you felt about what happened. Okay. Now think about the last point. Uh, Niranjana, Diana, and Najla, give me an answer.
I was petrified.
I was terrified.
Petrified, terrified. All right. Petrified is a better word for terrified. It's a similar. That's amazing. Good job. Petrified meaning, write this in your notebook. Petrified means extremely, or let's say, frozen in fear. Or very scared. Done. Write this word in your notebook, Safas are all of you, and finish. Write this, and I need one more point. So that's petrified is done. Write the meaning separately. Now, what else may have happened? Tell me. How else did you feel
like how about what happened, or like I can
about what happened?
say other things that's also I think about what happened else.
No, just about what happened. So, what are your feelings about it? So, let's say now that you think about that, now that it has happened, what are your feelings about it? One thing you can say you were petrified in that situation. Now, I would say that later you were, let's say, happy or glad that things worked out fine, right? So now we're doing two things. We're telling how we felt then and how we felt later after it happened. Any questions?
No, sir.
Let's take this downwards and we'll start writing the letter. Now, actually, since we don't have much time, I'm going to write an email for you. Or actually, I'm not going to write an email for you. No, you have this already. You have the plan. Okay. I hope the plan is perfect. You have to use this right here. And now we look at the literary devices. You have the opening as well. The opening is, hey Alex, I hope your exams went well. Sorry for not replying sooner. Then I'll just add one more thing. You won't guess what happened. What let's say what happened. You can say that. Or did I tell you? That's it. You have to use that right there, the opening, and write your own letter. Now I'll tell you what you have to use in the letter. We look at some literary devices. Start writing. The literary device, the first one we're doing is, please write this is important. First one we're doing is called, let's say onomatopoeia. What is this? This is basically words that describe sounds. Or now read this, Safa out loud from here. This is called onomatopoeia.
Words that describe sounds.
There's words that describe sounds. Examples of these could be, some of the examples could be, let's say,
We heard a clashing noise, like it sounds like plates.
clashing. Okay, clashing is one of them. We can say a loud, let's say thud. Thud is one of them. We can say a bump, a roar. Instead of bump, let's just say screech. We can say
A whistle.
whistle is also good. Write these right now and tell me when you're done writing.
Done.
Now these words are going to describe sounds. So what I want to do is, in my writing, I want to give sounds. Now look, the purpose is, or why do we use this? Reason for using this. Reason is to describe or to give a sensory experience and paint a vivid image. Niranjana, read this out loud.
To give a sensory experience, paint wide
Vivid
image.
image.
Vivid
Vivid.
image.
Write the meaning of vivid in your notebook separately somewhere. Write this as a list. You wrote. Yes, say that again.
Vivid means colorful.
Vivid means colorful. Now, I'll give you a few more for this. Write the word meaning separately. Now, so, a few more could be buzz. Okay. Howl. Crashed. Let's say boom. And lastly, we'll say splash. Now, just a thing, clashing. Clashing is for, let's say, hit, when things are hitting each other. Thud is for fall. Screech is for scratching. Roar is for a very, let's say, loud, or let's say thunder. Whistle is for, you can say, siren. Buzz is for ease and again alarms. This one, the one after that is the example, or let's say, where is it used? Now, clashing means when it is hit. This is the meaning. Thud is used when you fall down. So we can say the person fell down with a loud thud. We'll look at examples in a second. Please write this quickly and tell me when you're done. Howl is for animal. Crash is for crash. Well, crash. Boom is for explosion. Splash is for water. Water. So this is the word and this is the meaning. Well, it's a meaning right use.
So should I also write the uses of?
Yes. Everyone has to write the uses. Now we'll look at two examples of sentences which you have to use in your writing. First, finish writing. Tell me when you're done. The next thing we have to do is, just a second, is simile and metaphor. Don't try this right now. Now, Najla, I want you to read the first three out loud, quick.
Najla or
Clashing.
Niranjana?
Najla, N-A, sodium.
Okay. Clashing, hit, thud, fall, scratch, scratch, scratching.
Scratching. Niranjana, with the N-I, nickel. Read the next
Roar, thunder, whistle, stern.
siren. All right. Now let's make some examples here, which could have been happened on the Himalayas. Now, since we hit an animal, we were driving a bus, an accident happened. So, which of these do you think I should use? Now let's start. Let's write. Safa, can you hear me?
Yes,
Safa?
sir. Yes.
Now tell me which of these is most appropriate for the letter we were writing, because an accident
Crashing.
happened. Crash. Okay. Which one? This one?
The first one.
Flashing. Okay. What else?
So the bus hit the animal. For that, it's flashing.
Okay. Which is we've done flashing. So it hit the animal. That's perfect. Now anything else? Mavada, which of these do you think is useful?
Howled and crashed.
Howled and clashed and crashed. Okay. Now let's just use one more. Diana, tell me. Or Niranjana, tell me. Both of you.
A thud.
A thud. All right. Nikhil, Niranjana.
Yes, sir.
Which of these do you think one more fits the accident?
We can use Splash.
Crash is done. Let's just say
No, Splash.
Splash. All right, 5. Now what I need is, I'll give you one example and you have to write a few sentences on this on your own. First one is clashing. Okay, so let's say or clash, clashing or clash. And in all of these words, you can add ed or ing. You can add ed or ing. So what we can say is, let's start with clashing. So I can say the bus clashed violently with an innocent animal. So that's one sentence I used. I used clashed here. So instead of ing, I can also put ed or ing. Now the next one I can say is, let's say the animal howled with visceral pain. Now, do you know the meaning of visceral? Guys, what is the meaning of visceral? Luna,
Sir, I have a question.
ask me.
The meaning of howled is animal, right?
Not okay. So again, it's not an it's the use. So what that means is, it's not. It doesn't mean animal. It is used with an animal. The howl is a sound animals make. What is it?
A sound
Howl
animal.
is the sounds animal makes. So put that right here. And before animal, put sound made by animal. Everyone put that there. Boom, explosion. Over here, put sound of water. Whistle, sound of siren, sound of bees. All you have to do is just write sound of. So sound of hitting, sound of fall, sound of scratching, sound of thunder, all of that. Now we got this here. What is the meaning of visceral? Visceral means, uh, let's say, it's visceral means deep. What does it mean? Deep. Write this in your notebook as well, the meaning. And after you finish writing, I need one sentence from all of you, choosing any of these 5 words relating to the letter which we have to write. Safa, what do we have to do?
We have to choose a word and we have to tell you the example.
Example,
According to
don't tell me, write it on your notebook and send me a picture. Fine?
Okay.
For all or for the ones that are in yellow?
Only in the ones in the yellow, and I need only one sentence.
Okay.
One sentence, and except the ones. All right, any of them. Your choice. Any of the yellow ones. I need the answer from all of you in the chat. You only have 2 minutes. Niranjana, are you doing it?
Sir, what's the question?
The question is, I'll tell you, the question is, all you have to do is use any, make a sentence with the yellow, with the underlined words.
All of them?
One of them, with one of the underlined words. It's your choice. Choose any of the 5 yellow ones and make a sentence. Zahara, are you doing?
Yes, sir, I sent mine.
Lula, I've gotten yours. Zahara, I need one of you to work with me. Zahara, work with me. Come on, talk.
Yes, sir, I send you the sentence.
Send it to me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, okay. Perfect. I've gotten Najla's answer. I've gotten Lula's answer. Niranjana, I want you to work with me. So choose a letter and say it to me. Yes, Safa?
Sir, I sent you in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. All right. Okay. I didn't see any of this. All right. Okay. That's amazing. All right. You guys did send quite a lot of answers. Alhamdulillah. Good. Last night I was awakened by splashing water, clash with that sky. The ball landed with a thud. Clashing of the 2 steel glasses made a lot of noise. The pieces of the stone splashed in water. All right. Now all of these are perfect. Now there are a few ones, let's say, few ones which are not okay. Niranjana, yours is beautiful. Safa as well. Mawadda, Diana, good. Lula, your answer is good as well. Najla, your answer is good as well. Let's see. There are mistakes, a few mistakes for Zahara and for Najla. Talk to me.
Yes, sir.
Now, so there's one problem here. Whenever so the thing is, whenever we're going to use this word, we have to add 2 things, either ed or ing. We can't keep it like this. We can't say just well, we have to try at least. What that means is when we have something like this, water splash was too strong. Okay, we can say
The
water
splash
splash
of
too
water
strong.
is too strong.
Yeah, there was a
Splash
splash
of
of
water will
water.
also be wrong. Splash of water will be wrong.
No,
Why? Because
splashing of
splash,
water.
splashing of water could be fine. Yeah. Because what I want is a sound, not a thing. Splash is a thing. Okay. And I can also say the splash of water. Yeah, splashing of water. The last time I was awakened by a splash of water on my face. Now that is not a sound. That's basically throwing water on your face, right? That is different from the sound of water. So, Zahra, work with me. Now, the rest of you, I need an answer, an example. All right, I want an example on the other ones right here. Screech, roar, whistle, buzz. The purple ones. Write it in the chat. Everyone, start quick. Choose one. Right in the chat privately. Now, Zahra, talk to me. How can I make this better?
Adding ed or ing.
But that would still be not good. What I want is a sound. So whenever you're writing something, you should think of it as a sound. So what I can write is last night. There will be a comma after this because it's a linking word. Whenever we use a linking word, we have to put a comma. Last night is a linking word. So last night I was awakened by a splash of water. Instead of that, I can say I was awakened by splashing of water in the sink. All right? Or
How
splashes of water in the sink. Yes, tell me.
how in the sink like
How is it
we
different?
no how in the sink because we can't wake up in the sink, right?
Not in the sink, but perhaps you're sleeping and there's a bathroom nearby, perhaps there's a sink nearby, or in the kitchen, and it's dropping one drop by drop. Okay, so if the water is dropping, perhaps you heard it and you woke up because of that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So splashing of water in the sink or in the rain outside. That also makes sense. So just think of it like a sound, not an action. I think that should be enough because now you know how to use these. I thought it would you guys would have a problem using the words, but you're fine with it, so that's good. Here are some more examples. Please write these examples in your notebook and tell me when you're done. Well, I got a few more. Good. So let's write that down. Buzz. Instead of saying I heard a whistle, I could say I heard a whistling downstairs. I heard whistling downstairs. That's it. Now finish writing this quickly. We'll just look at simile. We did this in the last class, but I want you to use this in your writing as well. Comparison using like or as. Metaphor is comparison without like or as. Write examples which you have to use in your writing. First one is the crash was like two mountains. Was like, let's say, the accident was like two mountains crashing into each other. Now here what I'm doing is I'm comparing accident with what I'm comparing them with, two mountains crashing into each other. That's a comparison. And how am I doing it? I'm using the word like. Any questions? Now Najla, read the simile out loud from here. Najla is not in class. Safa, read the simile, the definition.
Simile comparison using like or as. Example, the accident was like two mountains crashing into each other.
All right. The people panicked. The people panicked as if as if an earthquake had happened. Or it's just saying the people panicked. Yep. Or it's just saying. Finish writing all of this and tell me when you're done.
Done, sir.
All right. The people panicked as a pack of sheep. We can say another one we can say is The forest, or let's say the cliff was like an unending or like a never ending pit. Metaphor, exactly the same things.
So what is cliff?
Pit means, let's say, when you make something like this, a gadda. Do you understand, Safa? A pit is
Yes.
basically a, let's say, small area in ground. Now, I would give you a better example. Just a second. Now, finish
So
writing
not
this and you're done.
cliff. The cliff was like a
Cliff,
near
all right, not a pit. Cliff would be, write this down. Cliff is edge of a hill. Write this in your notebook, all of you. Pit is a large hole in ground. The animal was or let's say the road was heaven. That's a comparison, but you're not using like or as. And lastly, the scenery was or let's think of something else. So everyone finished? Najla, have you written?
Yes, sir.
Mavada, Niranjana,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
all right, accidents are, let's say, accidents avoided are blessings from God. Let's just say that. Now again, I'm comparing accidents which are avoided. Let's say accidents which are avoided. This whole thing, I'm comparing this with blessings. What that tells me is I'm not using the word like. I can say unlike blessings. But I'm removing the word like from here. That's it. Finish writing. Niranjana, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
How much have you written?
So I'm writing now.
Okay. Now the class is done here. All I want is use the plan, use any of these sentences in your writing. I've made the whole letter for you. All you have to do is copy paste. And while you're copy pasting, also try to read and understand what you're writing. So there's nothing wrong with copying as long as you're learning. And that is how we learn. We learn by copying others who are better, or people who know how to write, and you copy them. And then you understand how to write, then you stop copying and you write your own stuff. Safa finished?
Yes, sir.
Zara?
Yes, sir.
Done.
All right then. Now,
About the homework,
yes, about the homework. Tell me, Luna.
no, I was asking if you're gonna check it.
I'll check it. I'll try to send it to you by the meeting, or by tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
About the chemistry homework, I didn't do it all. I wrote a note, but I don't know if it reached.
I'll check it. No worries. If you wrote a note, that's enough, right? You have to tell me if you're going to write it or not. So that tells me
I-
that, okay, at least you checked the
I
homework.
wrote the first from part 1 and 2, what I understood.
I'll check it, and you should try finishing it. Lula. The
Sir,
homework
did you
is
give
article
us
writing worksheet 2.
did
Yes,
you give
Najla?
us any homework from yesterday's chapter?
No, not yet. The only homework you have is this one right now. English article writing worksheet 2, which we did with the question we did in this class. So all of you take a screenshot of the question. Tell me when you have taken. And that's all for now.
That's it.
Have taken, sir.